Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Haikel Negash. I live in Boston and I'm the founder and current president of Eritrean Pharmacist Connections. Today's meeting is mainly to give you all detailed information about EriPCo, how you can be involved, and how we can all continue to build the organization together. By the end of today's meeting, we do hope that everyone lives with a sense of shared ownership towards EriPCo, because it's for EriPCo to achieve the vision and the mission that we have set forth. Everyone has to contribute, everyone has to participate, and it's important that people feel the sense of shared ownership if they are going to continue to participate. Today's meeting is for just 2 hours, so to be able to use our time efficiently, I'll just mention some housekeeping items. The presentation will be in English because we want to be inclusive, and there might be some people who might not communicate in Tigrinya very well. We will present in English, but anyone is free to use whatever language they feel comfortable when they're asking questions or giving feedback. We will have a separate question and answer session at the end, but if a question or a feedback pops up while we're still presenting, please write them in the chat section, and we will be sure to start our Q&A session by answering those questions. The meeting will be recorded. We already started the recording. We do encourage you all to turn on your cameras, but just in case you don't want to, make sure to turn off your videos, because like I said, it will be recorded. And finally, we will have a group picture at the end of the session. Again, we encourage you all to be in the group pictures and turn on your cameras, but just in case you don't want to, again, it's going to be at the very end of the session, so you can even just leave the meeting by then if you don't want to be in the group picture. That being said, I hope you will enjoy today's meeting, and I do hope we convey the message of shared ownership in all our presentations, and that you do feel that. Now I'll transfer the mic to Samrai to briefly introduce herself and tell us what she's going to present today. Thank you.
Thank you, Haikel. Hi, everyone. My name is Samrai Tagos. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm co-founder of EriPCo, and I'll be presenting about membership guidelines today. And Salam.
Hi, this is Salam. I am the vice president of EriPCo and the co-founder. I live in Auburn, Alabama, and I'll be presenting the plans of EriPCo for the coming 6 months of 2021. Aryam.
Thank you, Salam. Hi, everyone. This is Aryam, and I will be talking about committees and vacancies. I'm also the secretary of EriPCo. Currently, I live in Portland, Oregon. I'll pass the mic to Abnet.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, this is Abnet. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am co-founder as well as the treasurer of EriPCo, and I'll be moderating the question and answer sessions.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, again. So now I'm just going to go to my part of the presentation, which is going to be the general overview of why EriPCo started, how it started, and what we're trying to do, and just the current general organizational structure. So why EriPCo? I think the short answer, and honestly the right answer, should be why not EriPCo? I will try to give you like a number like that from a personal experience. I was in Eritrea and I was working as a teaching assistant, and myself included, there were 16 teaching assistants at the college, Asmara College of Health Sciences, and 15 out of these 16 are outside Eritrea. And why do I bring this? I bring this because when we were in Eritrea, we had ERIPA, which is Eritrean Pharmacist Association. And ERIPA is a vibrant, a decent organization. There were annual conferences, there were publications, small and big projects, leadership positions for members. But once you leave Eritrea, you pretty much don't have any connection with the organization, and the needs of Eritrean pharmacists are completely changed once you leave. The system of the host country is different, especially if you're planning to practice pharmacy, you pretty much have to start from scratch, and you need a lot of information, a lot of support. And it's kind of counterintuitive that there is no such a platform to support pharmacists when we're out of Eritrea, when we are blessed with so many resources, so many tools, and honestly, the communication that we have. So, so EriPCo was started because there was a dire need for such a platform. And just a little background on how EriPCo started and how we got to where we are right now. Like I said, I was a teaching assistant at Asmara College of Health Sciences. I came to the States in 2011 to do my master's in health outcomes research. And when I joined the graduate school, I also joined so many clubs and associations, multicultural club, students, African Students Association, peer mentors, and outdoors club, so many things. But once I finished, I didn't have any connection, professional connections again. And I wanted to do my pharmacy licensing. Fortunately for me, I had close family members and friends who did pass through the pharmacy licensing process. So I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew what exams I needed to take, what applications I needed to fill. And so I relatively got my license pretty quickly, and also started working as a clinical pharmacist at UPMC Shady site. So then we moved to Boston, and I started thinking, how can I align my passion and my profession? I love organizing. I love getting involved in Eritrean matters, but I also want to align my passion and my profession. And I was looking for ways to do that. And so I decided to invest in my leadership and management skills. So I applied for a leadership fellowship program that's called New Leaders Council. And I did that for 6 months. And during that time, I had to develop a capstone project as part of the fellowship. And that's where I developed Golahta for Better Health Outcomes that focuses on providing language concordant health services to underserved communities like Eritrea and other underserved communities. And that is also the time where the idea to create a platform for pharmacists started at EriPCo. One thing that I learned from this fellowship program is that when you have an idea, when you want to create something, you want to take your idea to the people that share your values, that know you as a person, that know your energy. And that's exactly what I did. Back in May 2020, I opened a Facebook group, a closed Facebook group, and I invited my pharmacist friends. Lucky for us, we always have maintained this very close connection between us. We've always visit each other in our graduation events, weddings, and other get-togethers. And in all these times, we were always saying, we need to create something, we need to build something, we need to start something. And so I just created this Facebook group with some group objectives and shared my idea. But because this was on everyone's heart, really, then I called for a meeting. The first day, 3 or 4 people came, and the next meeting, all the current founding members, they joined. Not only did they join, they took the idea, they made it their own, and then we quickly started brainstorming sessions, strategic planning sessions. We wanted to see what we can do, what we can achieve, and so that's what we did. And at first, we started as we registered as a community or a volunteer group because we wanted to have more people, more join us. And then we just thought like a nonprofit organization is just too big. We were not ready. But then we also continued to talk. Like I said earlier, the good thing that when you start something with people that know you is like you spend more time discussing the idea, even in like sometimes in ungodly hours. You just talk and talk and talk, and then we were able to come to a decision that it was time to start a nonprofit organization. And then we wrote our vision, And we started small, and then we were like, you know, a vision must be something that's so ambitious, that's like sky is the limit kind of thing. And we do believe in the untapped potential of Eritrean pharmacists. And if we focus on helping each other in realizing our full potential, we can become global leaders of the pharmacy profession. And so that's our vision. And how do we go about achieving our vision, or what's the mission? The mission should be identifying projects that empower Eritrean pharmacists, that advance the pharmacy profession, and that promotes healthy living among the public. So what does this mean? Well, this means that whatever we do, whatever project comes, does it empower Eritrean pharmacists? Does it advance the profession, or does it promote healthy living? If the answer is yes, then we're going to take the project, we will work on it. We prioritize the first one, which is empowering Eritrean pharmacists, because we do believe we fill our cups first, then the following missions will be accomplished accordingly. Like the theme of today's meeting, it's connect, communicate, and collaborate. That's what EriPCo is about. We have started the platform, people are starting to connect, but we don't stop there. We have to start creating meaningful connections. We have to reach to each other, learn about each other's work, and connect our ideas, connect our resources, and then eventually collaborate on projects or create new projects. And accordingly, we empower each other in such a way. We also identify needs of pharmacists and how we can try to meet these needs. So advancing the pharmacy profession, again, we now know that pharmacy is changing from like a product-based to a service-based, and that means there are so many things that we can do as a group. For example, here in the States, pharmacists are trying to get provider status, and what can we do as an organization collectively to advance this agenda forward. So this is again a mission, and obviously the last thing is promoting healthy living. We do this through providing health education and doing so many other things, but and that's the mission. And how do we do this? What's the strategy behind? We identified 5 things that we can do. We can carry out the projects through education, research, philanthropy, investment, and policy advocacy. And what does this mean? Again, education, it might mean giving the public the health education that we are already doing. Some of our pharmacists are already educating the public, but also building ourselves. Some of us have more clinical experience, more clinical knowledge, and so those of us who have more clinical background can educate the rest of us, or everyone can identify their area of expertise, and we can always keep each other updated. So that's the education part. Research, well, right now we're thinking maybe we can start with compiling all the research projects that Eritrean pharmacists did as part of their undergraduate work or their graduate work. Then maybe we can put everything in our website, have the compilation of the work that's done by Eritrean pharmacists. But further than that, there are so many projects that can be given by WHO, all these UN bodies, and most of the time, if there is no enough data, it translates to not having enough services. And when we see our communities don't get the support, the resources that they need because there is no data. So what can we do as pharmacists to carry out research projects? Like anyone who have an idea can collaborate with EriPCo to apply for grants from a WHO or from other organizations. So that's what the research is all about. And of course, do we have all the answers now? No. Do we need to have all the answers? No. But we have like the framework, and we continue to build on what we started. And philanthropy, we're Eritreans, we love to support each other, and we do believe our people back home and in the refugee camps do have like dire need for medications, for safe medications, even just vitamins. all these pregnant moms, children, there is needs, and we can definitely try to meet these needs. We have a lot of pharmacists who work in big organizations who can match their donations. So we can take advantage of these kind of things, and we can support our communities. Investments, again, this can be big, or the ideas as they come, they will be, but what we have in mind is maybe we have our Eritrean pharmacists in some areas of Africa who want to open pharmacies, who want to do business. What if we can, as EriPCo, collaborate with them, provide access to medications and do business just to run the organization? In one way, we are empowering our pharmacists. In the other way, we are getting the resources that we need to run the organization. Eventually, we envision work for EriPCo. We can create jobs so every pharmacist can provide the services that their people need. We were taught in Eritrea, our people, invested in us a lot. So I think when we find ways to serve back, I think it's a noble thing, and we can definitely continue to work on this. And finally, policy advocacy. That's basically all the missions: empowering pharmacists, advancing the pharmacy profession, and promoting healthy living. There are so many things that we can do. Just as an example, one thing that we are trying to figure right now is we have pharmacy students who left Eritrea, who want to continue their graduate studies or who want to get their pharmacy license, but they can't get their papers. So what if we try to work with these credentialing agencies like the ECE, which is Education Credential Evaluators, or WES, and we pretty much become like authenticating bodies. We write like support letters that these were Eritrean pharmacists, and they want to continue this, and we confirm that they were. So this is something that we want to do, and that we're trying to research on ways on how to achieve that. But and it also goes as far as even back home at we have pharmacists, and I was reading a research paper that was done back in 2015. How do pharmacists feel about their professions? Greater than 90% of the pharmacists were like, they wished there was some change of roles. So there is area that we can help improve pharmacists' job satisfaction by supporting in different capabilities whenever we can, that is. So basically, these are the main 5 strategies that we have set forth. I hope I gave you some idea on what we are trying to do. So like I said, we're going to do projects. So how do the projects work? Projects can be just simple ones, or they can be big, but we have like a simple project template. Anyone can propose a project. They just have to summarize it. They give the aim, the objectives, why the project is important, what's the rationale behind it, and what are the potential risks if we do the project now, and what's the plan of action, or how do we plan to implement it. So once this proposal is completed, it's emailed to info@EriPCo, and the proposal is reviewed by the board, and then it can either be approved, it can either be sent back with any modifications that are needed, and sometimes the project can also be rejected based off of the organization's mission if it doesn't go with that. So this is what we have, and our simple organizational chart. Like I said, we registered EriPCo as a nonprofit organization back in October. It's registered in the state of Alabama. It's a board-led, but it will have members, and the membership guidelines, Sam Wright is going to explain in the next slide, but we also have an advisory council. We're still working on our list, but I think you all will be pleased to, once we finalize it, we will share it with you. Basically, the purpose of the advisory council is to give guidance to the board to identify resources, to identify like grants, edit organizational bylaws and procedures, and overall guidance that is needed, because we believe that experience is important, and we need to tap into this experience so that we EriPCo can continue to grow bigger and better. We do have committees. We have standing committees as well as ad hoc. Right now, we do have 5 standing committees. The ad hoc, we will create them as we need them. For example, when election is coming, then we'll have elections committee, and then once the election is over, then we will not have that committee. But basically, the last election that we did, like the first one, was back in September, and right just before we registered the organization, and we plan to have annual elections. And so there is a way for members to become board of directors. Samrat will again discuss this in detail, but right now we're basically focusing on building the organizational culture, because it's very important to have this culture in place if we are going to win in achieving the bigger mission that we have set for EriPCo. That being said, I am going to just leave the take-home message again is for you to feel the sense of shared ownership. Yes, we started EriPCo because there was a dire need for such a platform, but if EriPCo is going to get bigger, to become the supportive, the vibrant organization that we are envisioning, it will need our participation, everyone's participation. We just created the foundation, and we envision to build a beautiful house. So let's do this together. Thank you so much. I'm gonna pass the mic to Samrat now.
I'm just working on my slide right now.